One of my favorite things about the GTA franchise is that each game has a completely different aesthetic from the previous one. For example, GTA 3 is depressive as shit. I distinctly remember the feeling of emptiness that I got from playing that game. The permanently gray skies, the dark colors, the cold New York City, the rain, the fog. Walking through the city made me feel a bit sad, like being disoriented. I enjoyed the game, but if I tried to remember how I felt playing that game, it was like being permanently dissociated. On the other hand, Vice City is completely the opposite. Whenever I played Vice City, the vibe it gave me felt fresh, pleasant, and cool. A feeling of liberty. Driving beside the beach, with people skating along the shore. The neon lights everywhere, the palm trees, the convertible cars, and the radio. I think I spent more time driving around the city listening to the radio than I did going through the missions. It would be a safe bet to say that Vice City is the responsible for making me love 80s music so much and making it feel so nostalgic every time I listen to it, even though I wasn't even a fetus back then. I know that GTA Vice City is not even close to the complexity of GTA 5, but I feel like everything Rockstar did was very well done, especially for a game from 2002. Like the Miami theme back when it wasn't being used yet by reaction channels and the endless music playlist on YouTube. The wind that made your shirt move when you were riding a motorcycle. Walking towards the clothing icon and coming out with a more stylish type of clothes. The beautiful cars. GTA Vice City felt simply awesome. Everything felt endless. And the radio was the final touch. I felt cool as driving around while listening to the radio in my cool convertible wearing a Hawaiian shirt. I felt happy. I think this exact feeling is what I remember most about GTA Vice City. I have very good memories of the game, and it is probably my favorite of all the GTA games because it has become like a pocket of happiness and nostalgia for me from a time when everything was simpler. The first time I experienced the huge scale of Vice City. A time when the new shiny things in video games did surprise us, even though the game looked like this. Vice City may seem simpler than it was if you play it now and compare it to modern games with millions of NPCs walking around. But when it came out, it was insane. There was nothing like it. Nothing as complex, nothing as real, nothing with that kind of mechanics and level of detail. And it itself, it was a really fun game. And after replaying it, I found it even more entertaining. Driving in this game is pure perfection. The greatest feeling a little human can experience in this world. The NPCs act so real, I barely can see the difference between real-life characters and the NPCs in the game. It's so fun to just stare and watch the NPCs just die on their own.
I wonder when Dad is going to come home from work. Dad, our only monetary support after Mom died in the tornado in Cusco, Peru. I don't know what we would have done without him. Me, you, and Emily, our little sister who just turned 3 weeks old.
You have one of the coolest wildlife I have ever seen in a game. It has plenty of fun things to do, like helping the cops when you see a theft in person. Let me help you, sir. It has a lot of visual effects that really adds a lot to the atmosphere, like this thing. Despite all of this, GTA Vice City is nowhere near being perfect. Some things could be done a little bit better. For example, you can't swim. Parkour doesn't exist, you cannot jump over fences. But you know what? GTA 5, unlike you, I have knees. Back to why Vice City is the best of all GTAs. One thing I loved when I was young was the fact that you started the game being a nobody and slowly, gradually, you began your rise in capitalism and power until you became the most powerful person in the whole city. I find it a real waste that GTA 5 left aside this progression to power that almost all GTAs had. In GTA 5, you had 3 characters to play, and one of them, Michael, he begins as someone who has already experienced what it's like to have a lot of money, to have mansions, decent clothes. And even though we have Trevor depicting what it's like to be in the shit, it's not the same because he remains more or less the same throughout the game. But that's not the case in Vice City. I love the fact that with each mission, you start earning more money and respect. Over time, you have more money to buy weapons, properties. You go from living in a hotel with no garage to taking over a huge mansion with an helicopter on the roof and endless hallways. It really made me feel the capitalism in my veins, the rise to power, the satisfaction of having more cars and people working for you, more wealth. Healthy idea for a 10-year-old girl. Another thing that Vice City did very well was having a perfect size map. I think Vice City has the ideal map size. While playing it, it feels huge. It has landmarks everywhere, places that make you want to pull over and look around. I remember having the whole map memorized, the shortcuts, the best jumps, the best routes to certain places. I had my favorite areas. I also like that it has practically no empty areas, no space that is just filler to be able to say in the news that your map is 8 times bigger than in the previous game. It felt really cool to explore the city and suddenly find a parked helicopter, to find a hidden weapon, a pool with a big wall, finding new jumps, places with new clothes, nice sceneries. The whole map has a lot of cool and interesting things, and that really encourages you to explore the map, to walk around and try to go through every alley to see what you're going to find next. I really prefer this to having a map so big that you're almost only looking at the GPS and completely ignoring your surroundings. And the radio was the perfect match for these explorations. So many times I would be doing a mission and I would pass by the destination so I could listen to the song until the end. I really can't think of that many video games with such a great soundtrack. All the radios were pretty cool. They also had certain sections with talk shows that now will be cancelled in no time, which are even more laughable to listen to nowadays. And the humor didn't feel as stupid as when GTA 5 tries so hard to be funny. It was just funny. And the radio really made this whole game shine. It's a real shame I can't put any of the songs because of copyright, because it would be really cool to use them in the video. I think they couldn't have found a better mix of music and aesthetics how they did it in this game. It's really something that got stuck in my brain, and sometimes I go into the game just to relive that feeling a little bit again. The original, because the remake looks really unsettling somehow. GTA Vice City is not objectively the best GTA, but at least in my opinion, it's my favorite GTA. For everything it meant to me at the time, for how absolutely great it felt to play that game on a giant and old dirty ass PC of the time, and for how entertaining it was to just stare at the NPCs, or even sometimes running into certain bugs. GTA Vice City is a fun game, so in times when I'm feeling a little bit down, you'll see me searching on YouTube with my little dirty fingers, Vice City cruising along with Flash FM, and I bet I'm not the only one. And that's one of the things I love so much about video games. I have so many great memories, so many funny and nostalgic moments related to games. All it takes for me is to play a little bit of one of those games to remember a time when I was having an excellent time. So I'm very grateful I had the chance to experience all of that, and grateful for the fact that my uncle knew how to obtain games really cheaply. Like really cheap when I was young. What? It was an experience I will never forget. This game is really precious to me, and I hope I was able to remind you too how cool it felt to play this game. Thanks for the huge support you guys usually give me on every video. It really motivates me to keep uploading content. I know I did a poll to see which video I should upload next, but I wanted to talk about something fresh before I dive into horror again. Remember, you can leave a like if you liked the video and subscribe if you are interested in the kind of content I do. I hope you had a great week and see you in the next video. Bye bye.
Man, I love Dad. I made him a necklace out of noodle TT. I hope he likes it.